So David Bossie joins me now in New York, former Trump campaign deputy manager and Fox News contributor, and Marianne Marsh, former senior advisor to Secretary of State John Kerry. So, Marianne, let me start with you. I mean, it seems that if there's no problem, then why would you not go through the proper channels and just make sure that you were dotting your I's and crossing your T's here? Why keep it under wraps?
Well, I think the important fact here, Martha, is that Hillary Clinton had nothing to do with the Uranium One decision, period, end of sentence. She wasn't involved with it.
She was on the committee, the CFIUS committee, and she had to sign off on it.
No, she did not participate in the decision.
But she's on the committee, Marianne. Her name is on the committee.
No, that's a fact.
Well, so she wasn't doing her job? I mean, which is it?
No, she did not participate in that decision.
But doesn't that seem rather convenient to you that she decided not to participate in this particular decision when she's on that board? That doesn't smell a little funny to you?
Well, you're either saying she recused herself, and rightfully so, given the circumstances that was just outlined in the previous segment, or if she had participated in it, there'd be something nefarious, is it? So which one is it?
But did she recuse herself specifically because her husband was giving speeches and because there were interactions with these companies? That's why?
I don't know the circumstances, Martha. In terms of the speeches, I do know there was a process where President Clinton would check speeches and other things. It is probably better at this point to disclose it if it has not been. But in terms of her participation, I don't know the reason she didn't, but she did not participate in the decision.
David, it feels like, you know, the same old, same old. They play by their own rules a lot.
Absolutely. And one of the only reasons that we found out about these connections is that we had a piece of litigation under FOIA for several years to finally get the memos that listed all of the Russians that Bill Clinton wanted to go meet with when he got his $500,000 payment. And, of course, it's the Uranium One guys. So that's the connection, and it takes years to figure this out. And John Solomon and the group at the Hill have been leading the way. No other mainstream media. All the mainstream media wants to do is talk about the Trump campaign and collusion when there's not 1 ounce of fact. But here we have an important story, and nobody's talking about it.
So you want to know more about this, Marianne?
Well, I mean, first of all, in Bret Baier's segment earlier this evening and by Peter Schweizer's account where he was interviewed, the people that you're pointing fingers at did not donate money until 2007. So in 2007, she was gearing up for a presidential race against Barack Obama. She was not Secretary of State. So those are the facts here. And I don't think you can, what you're trying to do here is kind of muddy the waters and try to conflate Uranium
Actually, that's
One
what the Clinton defense team does.
Hold on, David.
The Clinton defense team muddies the water. The Clinton defense
are trying to conflate the Uranium One with Robert Mueller's investigation. And Robert Mueller's investigation is the United States of America against Russia and Vladimir Putin, not Democrat versus Republican.
Hold on, guys. But Marianne, if that includes, which obviously it does, because they're in the middle of that investigation, and every American should want to understand any influence that Russia wants to have. But that also happens to go into this other avenue with Tony Podesta. So that's where it's going, because that's what happens when you have these investigations.
Martha, I agree with you, and that's fine. And Tony Podesta, it's well known, did business with Paul Manafort. That is a fact. It's a well-known fact and has been reported for some time. And it appears he has a fair problem, just like Manafort and General Michael Flynn, none of whom registered. All of them did it retroactively. That's a felony. That's a problem. That's serious. So I love the fact that Robert Mueller isn't going down all the avenues here, and it has nothing to do with party.
All right, we started with Marianne. We're going to end with David. David, final thought.
First of all, Robert Mueller was the FBI director when this investigation seemed to have been covered up by the Obama Department of Justice. Eric Holder seems to have put this thing under a rug, and they didn't tell Congress, they didn't inform Congress when this important decision about Uranium One's purchase was going on. No one in Congress knew about it. That's why this stinks to heaven. That's why Jeff Sessions must appoint an independent counsel other than Robert Mueller to investigate this.
We're going to leave it there, guys.
Last point. In 2015, there were letters sent on this matter by members of Congress, the Oversight Committee. They have yet to have a hearing. They might have it now, whereas the investigation in Russia started
all of this
in 2015.
Came up from the Hill story, which said that there was an ongoing FBI investigation while this process of approval was taking place, but the guys on the committee didn't know about it. So thanks, you guys.